A few years ago, Sean Rash was the next great thing in bowling, but he hasn't celebrated a title since '07.
Back on 2010, baby, live, PBA.
There will never be another like Earl Anthony. His 43 titles and 10 major victories solidified his name in bowling's history books.
Anthony. Earl Anthony.
Though the legend has been gone for nearly a decade, he still cast a long shadow over the sport. Last season, he was voted the #1 player of all time, and the respect from his peers and admirers lives on.
He's a superstar. He was an amazing person.
It was an honor to know him.
He is the best that will ever step on a lane.
He was the man. He was the man.
Today, the Lumber Liquidators PBA Tour returns to Earl's house, Earl Anthony's Dublin Bowl, for a tournament that honors his great legacy. And we welcome you to the Bay Area and Earl Anthony's Dublin Bowl, where today we roll in memory of the greatest bowler to ever grace this game. Coming up on the Earl Anthony Memorial Classic, we begin with the pair of men's semifinals. Sean Rash tries to end a rough patch on television. He'll take on Mike Machuga, who's seeking his 3rd career PBA Tour title. Non-exempt player T-Money Anthony LaCaze will duel Mike Wolfe, who's in pursuit of his 5th career title. But that's not all. It's the final event of the PBA Women's Series, presented by Bowl.com. The better half of the Barnes family, Lynda Barnes, taking on Stephanie Nation in our final singles event of the PBA Women's Series this season. And good morning to you from the West Coast. Rob Stone, joined by 13-time titleist Randy Peterson. Good crowd here behind us in the Bay Area. Next week, we're in Las Vegas for the 2nd major of the season, the Tournament of Champions. This week, a wonderful tune-up event, challenging lane conditions, and some really passionate personal stories. We begin with Sean Rash. This kid burst onto the scene in a big way. Since then, you get the sense, Randy, his ego a little bit dented.
Yeah, he really has. You know, he started out great, winning his first 7 matches on television, but it's been a big struggle ever since. He's lost his last 4, including 2 giveaways at the World Series of Bowling. He says, Rob, Randy, I've got some demons. I've got some real demons. He says, all I want to do is go out and prove to everyone that I'm still a great player out here. You know, with a win today, he can exercise a lot of those demons.
Yeah, he says he's bowling with a little bit of a chip this week on his shoulder. Speaking of bowling with a chip on your shoulder, how about Anthony LaCaze, a non-exempt bowler? So every week he has to go through the tour qualifying rounds just to roll with the big boys, just to get a chance to be on TV. You get the sense this kid belongs.
Well, he really does. You know, he's no flash in the pan, making his 2nd telecast in as many years in a very young career. He beat the #1 seed of this event, Tommy Jones, to make it to the telecast. Took Tommy Jones in 7 games. You know, he's got game, but the other thing that I really like about Anthony LaCaze is I think he's got the attitude to win out here. He said, you know what? I respect everyone out here, but I fear no one.
He also said, I'll see you guys next week at the TOC. A win here by LaCaze. He is invited to the Tournament of Champions. We take a look at today's bracket, and we begin with Sean Rash, who fought through Jason Belmonte in the round of 8. Ryan Schaefer falling to Machuga. Tommy Jones losing to LaCaze, and Mike Wolfe shutting out Stevie Weber. All of those in the quarterfinals.
He owns 2 Lumber Liquidators PBA Tour titles and 1 PBA Regional title from Erie, PA. Please welcome Chugs, Michael Machuga.
Machuga making back-to-back telecasts after finishing 5th in the Pepsi Red, White, and Blue Open in Wichita, Kansas. Won last year's Chameleon Championship in Taylor, Michigan. Start with the Brooklyn.
He's battling some real bad wrist issues.
All right, first one's out.
A four-time winner, including one major at the 2007 USBC Masters, and a four-time member of Team USA from Wichita, Kansas. Please welcome Sean Rash.
Sean made 3 shows last season, 2 singles, 1 double, but did not win a title. Again, started his career 7-0 on television. He has now lost his last 4 matches under the lights.
Boy, and sometimes the sport of bowling can be cruel. Mike Machuga throws a bad shot, gets away with the Brooklyn. Sean Rash comes back, throws a really good shot, only to leave a solid 9. But his last 2 outings were, I think, the turning point with Sean's attitude.
Where have we seen that before? Issues at the World Series of Bowling earlier this season, the Chameleon Championship.
How do you do that?
Here's the 7-10. Just things we don't normally see from Sean. And he opens up by missing the 9-pin and has an open frame in the first. Here he is in the second. Finds the pocket, drops them all. Good bounce back ball from Rash.
Well, you really got to ask yourself what's going through Sean Rash's mind when he steps up and whiffs another single pin spare on television.
He said, you know, I'm having problems staying focused, being confident, having fun out on the lanes. I'm too busy trying to prove people wrong. Too busy bowling with that chip on his shoulder. These are direct quotes from Sean. Here's Machuga, went Brooklyn in the first. Still a little heavy on that one. Leaves the 6-10.
When this oil pattern this week played predominantly in because of the amount of hook in the center part of the lane, there was a couple of players like Mike Wolfe, Mike Machuga that did try to chase it a little bit farther right. The majority of the players played in.
Time now for our Lumber Liquidators. Know the wood. It's the Earl Anthony pattern this week. Very flat pattern, which means...
Well, hang on, I'll get to that. But I got something else for you.
Oh, carry on.
Guess what? New for 2010, a brand new lane oil for the players, the New Brunswick Connect oil, designed for low friction surfaces. But you're right, 40 feet in length, very flat, and basically the way the lanes played was the middle part of the lane just caved in. An oil pattern Earl Anthony would be very proud of.
Strike, spare, strike for Machuga through 3.
First frame hitters.
This oil pattern really puts an emphasis on shot making. And that was Earl Anthony's forte. Nobody made better shots than Earl did.
Sean Rash, this is 6th top 20 finish of the season, 3rd in the top 5. Entered with the 10th best average on the tournament coming into the week.
Well, all 3 balls in the pocket. Stone 9, the first frame on the right lane. And now the week 10, Sean Rash is hitting the pocket. He's just got to keep it together mentally. He can get to the pocket. His shot looks good, and he loves playing that deep inside line.
Takes care of that single spare. Won this tournament when it was held in Medford, Oregon during the 06-07 season.
You know, Rob, it's one thing to lose on television or get beat when your opponent just outbowls you. It's another to give them away by missing spares, by making bad shots, by throwing away count. That's what's happened to Sean Rash his last 2 times out.
Spare strike for Sean Rash. Open frame, rather, in the first. But when we return, we'll tell you why Mike Machuga almost didn't bowl this week when we return for the conclusion of a semifinal battle with Sean Rash.
PBA legend Parker Bone III knows hardwood floors. That's why he installed Bellawood pre-finished solid hardwood floors in his own home. Available in a variety of species, there's no sanding, no smelly fumes, and it's durable. Just how durable is Bellawood?
Parker, don't even think about it.
Well, it does have a 50-year finish warranty. Bellawood, on sale now at Lumber Liquidators. Call 1-800-FLOORING for a store near you.
free as a bird now. Fly, fly, gonna see the whole world now. Try it. These days are better than before. I want more. These days are better than before. I want more. These days are better than before. I want more.
Geico Power Sports. Insurance for your car and the other stuff that moves you.
Imagine being at 30,000 feet with a plane full of kids and you have a heart attack. That's what happened to me. I'm on an aspirin regimen now. My doctor told me it's the easiest preventative thing you can do.
Be sure to talk to your doctor before you begin an aspirin regimen.
See your doctor. Simple.
Chris Paul comes to the line with the game in his hands. He must hit this shot for the win.
I've done this hundreds of times in games like these. I can do this. My coaches taught me how. Go through your pre-shot routine. Focus on the target. Close out the crowd. Get a comfortable grip on the ball and let the ball roll off my fingertips.
You know we got a shot clock in this sport too.
Hey Chris, be cool. Now watch this.
I'd like the sirloin, chicken and pork too, all wrapped in bacon, and all for around $10.
Security! You can't match Golden Corral's Applewood Grill. It's sirloin, chicken breast, and our new scallops, all with Applewood bacon, all for around $10. Only at Golden Corral.
Morning, LT. Good morning. How you doing? Good, thanks. None of these are mine.
The PBA Earl Anthony Memorial Classic is brought to you by Lumber Liquidators, hardwood flooring for less. By Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% on car insurance. By Bear Aspirin, expect wonders. And by the United States Bowling Congress, the all-new bowl.com, your online source for all things bowling. Log on to bowl.com today. While we're gone, Mike Machuga missed the head pin in the fourth, able to clean up the spare, struck in the fifth. Sean Rash left the 10 pin in the fifth. Knocked that one down for a spare, and now we begin the sixth frame. Rash down 11. Double wood.
Just a little aggressive on that shot, and that caused the ball to skate just to pinch down the lane, leaving the 2-8. The last 5 shots prior to that were all perfect. He can't double yet, and because of the missed 9 pin in the first frame, he finds himself trailing by 13.
Sean Rash joins us now, courtesy of the PBA Inside Angle. And Sean, what are you seeing out there that's giving you some issues?
So far, the carry on the right lane hasn't been very good. We've bowled a pretty good game so far and just trying to stay close.
Machuga, bottom of the sixth, up 13.
Well, and you can see not a lot of room for error playing that outside part of the lane. Mike Machuga doesn't miss by a lot here. You can see the change in his time. He's made a big change, delaying the push away, making his timing a little bit a little bit later. He felt like his timing was real early. Oh my God. And really likes what he's doing now, making back-to-back shows, Rob. I think it's the right change for him.
Well, Mike Machuga almost didn't bowl this week. A right wrist issue almost had him withdraw from the tournament.
I almost WD'd. And the sixth game of the first day, I just was pulling it apart, just trying to relieve some pressure, and it popped, and something moved, and all of a sudden I got my range of motion back. It's still pretty tender, but I think something was just out of place in there. I don't know if it was a tendon on a nerve or a bone was out of place or what, but something moved and it relieved a lot of pressure, so hopefully it continues to get better.
Strike there in the seventh, and Mike trying to figure out with us. He's like, I don't know what triggered it. I don't know what brought it on. All I could think of was, might have been a snow shoveling injury that he suffered back home. And as you start to age, the little things you do that you don't think about end up haunting you the next day. That's why you always got to have that Advil handy.
Yeah, plus when you're shoveling 12 feet of snow in Erie, Pennsylvania, that's not good for the wrist.
This is not Rash's day right now.
And it's just pin carry on the right lane. That ball is just a little bit high. Leaves the 4-pin. Left a solid 9 in the first, a 10-pin in the third, another 10-pin in the fifth, and now a 4-pin. No strikes for Sean Rash on the right lane. Usually on a really tough demanding oil pattern, you're trying to just keep the ball in play, and Sean is doing a great job of that. But with no pin carry, it's going to be tough for him to get back in the match unless Mike Machuga makes a mistake.
We remind you to head on over to PBA.com right now. Submit your More of What Matters to You fan question. The question is sponsored by One A Day and can be directed to one of our finalists or to you and I, to the announce team. If selected, your name and question will be read live and answered during today's telecast. Be smart and be original. Still seeking that third strike of the semifinal match, and this one may be a lost cause for Rash.
Oh, nice. Well, I disagree with you, partner. I think he's got plenty of time based on how tough the oil pattern is. Even though he's down by 15, there's still 2 frames to go. He needs a spare here. He can still strike out for 205. He had a little bit of a footing issue there when he let go of that shot. He's hitting the pocket on the right lane, and anything can happen on this oil pattern. Mike Machuga's clean, strike spare through 7 frames, but that doesn't mean that Sean Rash is out of this match. One errant shot can spell an open frame.
And Machuga has yet to pair any strikes together. Machuga's last title came at the last season's Chameleon Championship, began with a TV win over Sean Rash. Way right.
I feel like that was a lion shot. You know what the lion shot is, right, Rob? If he tells you he threw this one good, he's lying. This is wide right, and he's lucky to get 8. I mean, that is a huge break. And again, remember what I said. One errant shot can make the difference in this match.
So Machuga remains clean here in our first semifinal. Semi number 2 coming up next. Mike Wolfe taking on Anthony LaCaze. It's been all on the left lane for Machuga so far, flawless. And that is where he is right now in the 9th as we begin the foundation frame. The lead at 15 for Machuga. Brooklyn, his second Brooklyn strike of the day.
Boy, right now, Mike Machuga's like a sprinkler. He's just throwing the ball everywhere and really fortunate to have a 15-pin lead. He's got to finish on the right lane, the lane that he has not yet struck on.
Sean Rash now on the right lane, a lane he has not struck on. His 2 strikes both coming in the left lane and coming in the 2nd and the 4th frames.
Another 4-pin. Well, if you're Sean Rash right now, you got to tell yourself, okay, let me make the spare here, strike out in the 10th frame, and make Mike Machuga mark on a right lane that he's been very suspect on.
And he missed. His 2nd single-pin spare miss of the day.
A really good game to lose like that.
I mean, when he loses, he does it in dramatic fashion.
It's just inexplicable, the missed single-pin spares. Did not miss a single-pin spare in match play all week, and misses 2 on television. That's all mental.
You got to find him a sports psychologist to up his winnings.
Send him to me. I'll take care of it.
I'm not sure I trust anybody's brain with you, my friend. There you go, 2 in a row now for Rash. Come on, you set yourself up for that one, buddy.
Oh.
All right. We'll send Rash your way.
I can help.
Like giving games away.
Kid's got a lot of talent, obviously. And you know what? To his defense, I mean, he did start off winning his first 7 matches on television. He starts to feel he's invincible, can't lose, and you know that's not going to last forever. But he's only lost his last 4 matches. It's not like all of a sudden, you know, the bottom just fell out of it. He's still 7-4 now, 7-5. But it's the missed single pin spares and throwing.
This might be the worst.
Throwing the ball kind of all over the place. Although in this match he did bowl a pretty good game, but the single pin misses. Inexcusable.
You cannot have that at this level.
You can't and expect to win.
No, not a shot. So Machuga will move on to the title match. Despite what is going on here in the 10th, and despite his bewildered look, and despite his less than stellar play, a 188 is going to be enough to take care of Sean Rash. So Machuga moves on, 188, 183, semi number 2. Coming up when we return, Mike Wolfe taking on Anthony LaCaze.
The road is tough, your spirit's strong, driving one and on. Close shave America, close shave Barbasol. America, you're looking good, handsome, free and tall. Close shave America, close shave Barbasol, close shave Barbasol.
What your child brings back from an RV trip is more than you can possibly imagine. What will you discover? Go RVing. Visit GoRVing.com for a free video and see an RV dealer.
Australian Open coverage begins tonight at 7 p.m. on ESPN2. Presented by Franklin Templeton Investment.
Out here, the pace of life is a little slower. And that's great, except if you're trying to get online. If you've got a dial-up internet connection, you know what I'm talking about. Good thing HughesNet is here. HughesNet is high-speed internet by satellite that's available everywhere, even where you live. And it doesn't use your phone line. Having high speed makes a big difference. Here, let me show you. You can access email instantly, bank online, shop for the best deals, and finally open those pictures your family emailed, all in a snap. In the time it takes you to download one photo on dial-up, you could download an album on HughesNet. After all, your time is valuable. Find out what you've been missing. A simple phone call gets you started, and before you know it, you'll be surfing faster than ever.
Order HughesNet now and get free standard installation. Call 1-800-580-0140 or go online to HughesNet40.com.
Earl Anthony has climbed to greater heights by winning his 30th PBA title and his second Firestone Tournament of Champions win. And Earl, congratulations.
Thank you, Chris. Boy, this is a thrill, I'll tell you. This is going to be my all-time biggest thrill, I think, in bowling.
The legendary Earl Anthony stands out as one of the many big names to take home the Tournament of Champions trophy. Each year, only the best of the best are invited to this coveted major. This star-studded event features the winners of not only the past year's PBA tournaments, but includes the best seniors, women, and PBA Hall of Fame members. Watch to see if media darling Tom Smallwood can continue his winning ways in his first ever TOC appearance. You can see it all right here on ESPN next Sunday, 1 p.m. Eastern, coming your way live from Red Rocks Casino in Las Vegas. Tom Smallwood was scheduled to join us here live today. He's fallen ill, so we'll look forward to seeing Tom Smallwood next week in Las Vegas. Rob Stone, Randy Peterson back here with you in Dublin, California. And we said that this Earl Anthony oil pattern was going to be challenging. You saw it in semifinal number 1. What are you seeing from it right now?
I think the inside part of the lane is going to play the best. Mike Machuga, he showed just how difficult it was to play right of that big dry hump area in the middle. You got to get way in, you got to make good shots, but you got to make spares. You know, one of the keys to grinding it out when they're tough is keeping the pocket in front of you, avoiding splits, and making spares.
All right, time now for semifinal number 2. Anthony LaCaze taking on Mike Wolfe.
He is looking for his first Lumber Liquidators PBA Tour title, making his second TV appearance from Melrose Park, Illinois. Please welcome Anthony LaCaze.
The kids in the know call him T-Money.
You love that, don't you?
Absolutely. I more than love it. I think I borderline adore it. His buddies in Franklin Park, Illinois, at Dave Worth's house right now are kicking back on the patio. They got the space heaters going, the couches, the fridge, the 6 TVs to watch their boy, T-Money, bowl for the money. Leaves the 10-pin.
One of the reasons why I think he's got a lot of talent is because, you know, anybody can make one show on an easy oil pattern. You know, you get lucky, you have a good week or a career week. Anthony LaCaze making his second telecast, but he makes it on a very demanding oil pattern. That just tells me he's got game.
And he's got some help this week, too. Takes care of the 10. You know, when we saw him last season, he was at the Lake City, Indiana Golden Anniversary Championship, took on his really good buddy, Bill O'Neill, lost in that match. You know, they bowled together, they're lifelong friends, and Anthony telling us yesterday, like, you know, it was kind of mean. You know, he was expecting a little more warmth from his buddy. Hey, man, you're out here bowling.
A 4-time winner on tour with 5 PBA regional victories from New Albany, Indiana. Please welcome Mike Wolfe.
But this week, LaCaze has Bill O'Neill on his side, helping him do a little scouting as we warm up. Here is Mike Wolfe, native of New Albany, Indiana, seeking his 5th Lumber Liquidator PBA Tour title. That may have been the prettiest shot we've seen all day.
How about Mike Wolfe playing the outside part of the lane? He did that. He played way in through qualifying and match play. He said, I just threw it 100 miles an hour up first arrow. But I call this guy Cyborg. That's my nickname for Mike Wolfe because it's just business-like. He reminds me a lot of Earl Anthony on the lanes in that respect. Not a lot of hooping it up, not a lot of showboating, just business. This guy, when he gets it going, he's tough as nails, and he's made a big adjustment in his game. He's gone from 5 steps to 4. And look how smooth his arm swing looks now.
Right through the schnoz. Time to pray at the Greek church.
Gets it left of target and pays the ultimate price, leaving the Greek church. He does a smart thing and just gets counted. So, again, that just shows you how sensitive the oil pattern is. And I think what happened on that shot, Rob, was that to his right on the practice pair, one of the guys practicing, probably Mike Machuga, caught him in his 3rd or 4th step. He gave it a look over there after he left the Greek church.
First strike of the match for the 27-year-old from Melrose Park, Illinois, just outside of Chicago. Here's how he got here. Went through Mitch Beasley, and Haas, PA, Patrick Allen, and then Tommy Jones, who was really your tournament leader pretty much all week.
Yeah, Tommy Jones dominated the event through qualifying, and Anthony had Tommy Jones down 3-1. Tommy came storming back before Anthony finally put him away in the 7th and final game.
still seeking a pair of strikes thrown by one of our men's semifinalists.
Well, that's twice through the nose on that same lane. Anthony LaCaze will make an adjustment. He'll move deeper, farther left on the lane, try to get that ball to lay off and hit the 1-3 pocket. Right now, trying to avoid an open frame. Not the easiest spare on tour to convert, the 3-6-10, but you want to make it harder, throw the 9-pin in there.
Just for good measure.
What do we talk about in our on camera? Making spares, staying clean, avoid the open frames, grind them out. I think that was Earl Anthony's forte, kind of his mantra.
It's kind of like a running game approach right now in the NFL.
Exactly
Can't
right,
get your
man.
running game going, you're hosed. So Wolfe, strike in the first, open frame in the second.
Who's going to dominate the line?
It's all about the Hogs.
Right now, it's the foul line.
Leaves the 10-pin open frame for Wolfe. Tonight, division rivals square off in Denver. It's your NBA destination on ESPN. Chauncey Billups, Carmelo Anthony, and the Nuggets, finally healthy. They take on Carlos Boozer and the Jazz. NBA Special Edition on ESPN and ESPN360.com tonight at 9 Eastern. Takes care of the 10 there. So Wolfe, strike, open frame, spare. So we begin the fourth. All even. Had a bye in the round of 28. Took down Mike Devaney 4-1 and then shut out Stevie Weber, losing only once.
And our top 4 players through qualifying receive a bye in the first round. Mike Wolfe was the number 4 seed. Well, that was always the toughest thing for me, is when you were bowling on a difficult oil pattern and you were making really good shots and you were getting to the pocket, the pins weren't cooperating and you weren't striking. Because what makes it difficult is, all right, now you go, well, what kind of adjustment do I make to try to carry the corners? And if I'm wrong, I could go from 9 spare to big giant splits and open frames.
And you start overthinking things.
Oh, God.
And he misses. I mean, how many single pin spares have we seen already? Missed. 3? My goodness.
Slide on one, you slip on the other.
So, when we return, T-Money, Anthony LaCaze steps up in the fourth. He's got a 12-pin lead through 3.5.
I like the sirloin, chicken and pork too, all wrapped in bacon, and all for around $10.
You can't match Golden Corral's Applewood Grill. It's sirloin, chicken breast, and our new scallops, all with Applewood bacon, all for around $10. Only at Golden Corral.
So I was the guy who was never going to have the heart attack. I thought I was invincible. I'm on an aspirin regimen now because I never want to feel that helplessness again.
Be sure to talk to your doctor before you begin an aspirin regimen.
Talk to your doctor and take care of what you have to take care of.
Amateur bowling, Vegas style. 2 giant megabuck tournaments held in Las Vegas February 1st through the 7th. The TAT and the High Roller, the world's 2 largest amateur bowling events. Divisions for every skill level, something for everyone. Your chance to win a share of over $1 million in cash and prizes. You don't want to miss this big opportunity. Compete as an amateur. Feel like a pro. Anyone can win big money.
Why do hardwood floors cost less at Lumber Liquidators? At most flooring stores, your floor makes a few stops before you get your order. Lumber Liquidators cuts out the middleman. Come on in. You'll find the quality hasn't been cut, just the prices. Like Bellawood, the premium pre-finished hardwood flooring from $2.99. Supreme bamboo flooring as low as $1.99 a square foot. Hurry in, these deals won't last. Visit lumberliquidators.com or call 1-800-HARDWOOD for a store near you.
To stay on top of my game after 50, I switched to a complete multivitamin with more. Only one a day men's 50+ Advantage has ginkgo for memory and concentration, plus support for heart health. That's a great call.
One a day men's.
I'd like the sirloin, chicken and pork too, all wrapped in bacon, and all for around $10.
Security!
You can't match Golden Corral's Applewood Grill. It's sirloin, chicken breast, and our new scallops. All with Applewood bacon, all for around $10. Only at Golden Corral.
September 22nd, 2004. A plane crashed, and a worldwide television phenomenon exploded. Tuesday, February 2nd. For the amazing adventure that captivated millions, it's the beginning of the end.
This is our destiny.
ABC's Lost, the final season. The premiere event Tuesday, February 2nd on ABC.
I always remember Earl from the 70s when he first started dominating on the tour, playing different angles on the lanes that other lefties couldn't play. Earl Anthony is one of the greatest bowlers in the world, and he's sorely missed.
We welcome you back to Dublin, California, our continuing coverage of the second semifinal between Mike Wolfe and Anthony LaCaze. While we were gone, LaCaze a strike in the fourth, spare in the fifth. Mike Wolfe just spared in the fifth. Here he is in the sixth. His second strike of the match. Yeah, it's going to be a grinded out kind of day between the bowlers, the broadcasters, everybody, the fans. I mean, this is not going to be Drew Brees airing it out and chucking a lot of touchdowns. This is going to be some banging on the line and some spares that need to be picked up.
Yeah, the gloves are off now. This is just bare knuckles, full brawl, no holds barred. I mean, it's time to just suck it up and make good shots. Take your opponent out.
LaCaze in the sixth. On the right lane, both of his strikes have come on that right lane.
Nothing really standing out like, hey, I think I found the right line. I think I'm going to take over this match. Time to start putting some strikes together. We're still looking for our first double. Tough oil pattern, but some key mistakes in the form of missed spares.
We're looking for our first double all day, not just this match.
And only 3 strikes all day on the right lane.
So a pair of spares for LaCaze in the fifth and the sixth. Open frame in the third for him. Wolfe with an open frame in the second. LaCaze up 11. We begin the seventh.
Well, and you can see that Anthony is chasing the oil in, but you heard him say hook. He got that shot just a little bit wide and lucky to only leave the 2-4-5. This oil pattern, instead of being kind of Christmas treed in down the lane, it actually spreads out. And so what happens is when the players move in and they start to open the lane up, if they get it an inch too far to the right, it hits a big splotch of oil and it's going to hang all day long. Crucial to make shots. Your speed's got to be perfect, and you better hit your target.
So what's your advice, Sidney?
Well, personally, I don't like the outside look. I think it's too sensitive. But also, I think when you make a mistake playing the outside line, I think the consequences are disastrous. I think if you're playing in and you make a little bit of a mistake or you miss a board or two, I still think you'll leave yourself something you can make. When you miss from the outside part of the lane, it's through the nose for a Greek church, like Mike Wolfe did in the second. You miss a little bit wide, and it's going to be a washout.
Here's the 8 pin.
Boy, that was huge because Mike was working on a strike. He could have doubled up right there and taken the lead. Solid 8. The worst break in bowling next to a pocket 7-10 for a right-hander. Watch this. Ball goes right by the 8 pin. Boy, that's just like getting punched in the stomach really hard.
Mike Wolfe backs off on this one. A sage move. Now, you have got to be comfortable out here today because this one is a battle between the ears as well. These one-pin spares are freaking people out today. They are freaking them out.
Again, I think that's a mistake, especially on a tough ball pattern. When you try to hook the ball at a single pin spare, I think you should just throw it straight. The match is close. He tries to hook this ball at that spare, misses a fraction to the right, and never makes it back.
Fourth single pin spare missed today. And we're not even through our second men's semifinal. Still to come, the women. PBA Women's Series presented by Bowl.com. Lynda Barnes taking on Stephanie Nation. Oh, they must be loving these highlights right now. There you go, Wolfie.
And with all intents and purposes, that should be 3 in a row.
Right.
But it's not. And the failure to convert the single pin spare in the 7th frame after he leaves a solid 8 puts him 20 back.
This is a bizarro day right now. LaCaze, non-exempt player from outside of Chicago. His wife is here, his dad is here, his sister is here. Let's see if he can move on to the title game. Up 20. Come on.
I got to tell you, Rob, in all my experience bowling on tour and doing television, the events that I've been a part of and watched like this is when a guy like Anthony LaCaze wins. These type of events, grind out, ugly, and all of a sudden this guy just does the right things. He makes the right moves. He makes good shots, gets a couple of breaks, and finds himself holding the winner's check and trophy.
Takes care of that. I mean, single pin spare conversions are going to be a big part of the day. We're not going to see a whole lot of 200s today. We'll be lucky if we see one at this rate. LaCaze, just 2 strikes.
Set it up.
And an open frame in the 3rd. But up 19 as we begin the foundation frame. He is on that left lane, and that has been the lane that has given everybody issues except for Mike Wolfe all of a sudden. Take that back. It's the left lane that everybody has been loving. It's the right lane that has been an absolute fiend. Alea LaCaze.
Are you sure?
Alea.
Okay.
Yes, apparently I mispronounced her first name when he was on television last week, and he reminded me that Alea was none too pleased. I want to keep her happy.
As you should.
As does T-Money.
Mike Wolfe, must-strike situation now, working on 1 strike. He can strike out for 192. Anthony LaCaze going at a 181 pace.
Smooth roll. Gets them all the crowd on the right lane. So 2 strikes on the right, 2 strikes on the left for Wolfe. Huge time for that strike.
Yeah, but even bigger now, 10th frame. 3 strikes here in the 10th frame. He will force Anthony LaCaze to throw 2 to beat him. That solid 8-pin, 7th frame, looming large.
Lead at 9 for LaCaze. Wolfe on the left lane to begin the 10th. Has struck twice this match on that left lane.
Anthony LaCaze is going to bowl for the title.
There's a good shot for you.
A little bit left of target, not a lot. May have grabbed it a pinch with his hand, right through the face. And there's the penalty. 4-10 split. What could have been, if only for a solid 8-pin in the 7th frame. I've been on the other side of that. I know what that's like. No fun.
You know, you see it on the facial expressions of the bowlers, and you hear it from the crowd. You know, a couple frames ago, after Mike Wolfe missed that single pin spare, you heard the crowd just kind of say, all right, let's start clapping here. Let's get these guys back into it. Let's pick it up. This is a tough day. But LaCaze will take it. 4 pins to move on to the title match. T-Money moves on.
Yeah, and you know what, Rob? He's lined up now. He's got the left lane. He's playing the right lane completely different. Look out, Mike Machuga. Remember what I said. These are the kind of days where a guy like Anthony LaCaze, a non-winner, it's the kind of day where they end up holding that trophy for the first time.
It'll be LaCaze's first title match and just his second ever televised appearance.
Remember, he said he was going to be at the Tournament of Champions next week.
And not just a gamble.
And if he wins, he'll knock out Eric Forkel. I really like what Mike Wolfe has done with a change in his game, going from 5 to 4 steps. Just a couple of mental errors today. Otherwise, he's bowling for the title. But, you know, we talked about it in the first match. You miss single pin spares. Guess what? It's going to come back to haunt you. And that's the exact difference in this match, really. That solid 8-pin.
So our men's final is set. Mike Machuga versus Anthony LaCaze. But first, it's our women's title match. Lynda Barnes stepping onto the floor to take on Stephanie Nation.
The road is tough, your spirit's strong, driving one and on. Close shave America, close shave Barbasol. America, you're looking good, handsome, free and tall. Close shave America, close shave Barbasol, close shave Barbasol.
PBA legend Parker Bone III knows hardwood floors.
That's why we had Bellawood pre-finished solid hardwood floors installed in our home.
That's right, Leslie. There was no sanding or fumes.
And Bellawood is so durable.
And it comes with a 50-year warranty.
But enough about why I love Bellawood. Parker, you're the expert. You tell them.
Oh, but I wish he could. Seems we're out of time. Bellawood on sale now at Lumber Liquidators. Call 1-800-FLOORING for a store near you.
And I never got tired, so my dad started calling me AD for all day, and it stuck with me ever since.
I like that, AD, all day.
Yeah, so what's your nickname around here?
Me?
Yeah.
I don't really have a nickname. Pretty much just call me Scott.
All day, what's up? Same. Hey, bedwetter.
Guys are always clowning, you know.
Bedwetter.
Told you that in confidence. Johnny? Go ahead and get this fax out. All right.
An all-new season of Top Gear, Monday at 8 on BBC America. Yes! You don't have to love cars to love Top Gear.
This is the best race in history!
You just need to love fun.
That's toast! This is my favorite show.
Top Gear starts Monday, January 25th at 8 on BBC America, Channel 135.
I'm Bob Vila. To me, a room is more than a place to live. It's an expression of who you are. And nothing makes a room stand out like Bellawood hardwood floors. Bellawood floors are 100% solid wood. They're pre-finished and come in over 120 choices.
I saw the Australian cypress and I knew this is it.
Bellawood's finish is 3 times more durable than other brands, and it's backed by a 50-year warranty.
My installer said this is the best wood flooring he's ever used.
Call or click now for a free Bellawood catalog. Bellawood. Now on sale at
Lumber Liquidators.
The PBA Earl Anthony Memorial Classic is brought to you by Hammer. Hammer Bowling. Nothing hits like a hammer. By Vice. Vice Inserts. The choice of champions. It doesn't get any better. By Motive. High-performance bowling equipment with a fresh perspective. Get motivated. And by Barbasol. Enjoy the rush, America. New Barbasol Pacific Rush Shaving Cream. We welcome you back to ESPN's continuing coverage of the Earl Anthony Memorial Classic, coming your way live from the Dublin Bowl in Dublin, California, just outside of Oakland. Time now for our women's title match presented by Bowl.com. Stephanie Nation taking on Lynda Barnes.
She owns one PBA Women's Series title, is a 4-time member of Team USA from Grand Prairie, Texas. She's the Nation sensation. Please welcome Stephanie Nation.
Nation was down 3-0 to Shannon Pluhowski in the semifinals, rallied to win 4 straight to move on to make her first TV show of the season. What oil issue? What lane problems? Gets the late kick on the 10, does Nation, and takes a seat. Here comes Lynda Barnes.
The winner of one PBA Women's Series title, 98 and 08 USBC Queens champion and 12-time member of Team USA from Double Oak, Texas. Welcome the better half, Lynda Barnes.
By the way, between you and me, I absolutely love the nickname the better half.
Better half?
Yeah.
How's that sitting with Chris?
Love it. I absolutely love it.
Boy, and just the start you want when you're bowling on a tough oil pattern. You know, strikes are hard to come by.
There's her husband, Chris.
I think you have to play both lanes completely different, and I think that Anthony LaCaze showed that in the last match. Play in on the left lane, play closer to second arrow on the right lane. Shake it off, get it out of your system. Tighten up those laces, throw a strike on the left lane.
Hey, Lynda, listening and seeing what happened with the 2 men's semifinals, how is that affecting you as you come out here to start your title match?
It's generated a little bit of confusion. We're just going to try and settle down and make good shots.
We thank Lynda for joining us, courtesy of PBA Inside Angle. As she gets set to start the second after an open frame 9 in the first.
But you can see right away that Lynda's playing the lanes the correct way. She's farther left on the left lane, a little bit straighter and farther right on the right lane. Now it's just a matter of dialing it in and making the right shot. Nice break here, only leaving the 4-7. Let's cover the spare.
And breathe. And breathe. Spares are your friend today.
Spares are a must today.
A necessity. So open frame spare for Barnes. Up now, Stephanie Nation. Her birthday was on Monday. Turned 26. I remember turning 26.
I remember it like it was yesterday.
Right. You and me both, buddy.
Hard to believe Stephanie didn't make a cut at the World Series of Bowling. Not one cut.
Her best finish till this week was 13th. Oh, yeah! Back to back. Wasn't pretty, but it was effective. We remind you to head on over to PBA.com right now. Submit your More of What Matters to You fan question. And that question, sponsored by the good folks at One A Day, will be directed to Randy. And I'll take a question. I'll take a question as well, if need be. If I have to step in and take a question, I will. But send us a question right now over on PBA.com. Click on the One A Day logo and fire off the question to us, and we will answer it in our broadcast today. We've yet to see a 3-bagger today. We should just celebrate a pair of strikes, to be honest with you. It's only happened how many times today? Twice? 3 times? Sean Rash had a 3-bagger to close out, and he was already done.
You can see Stephanie Nation has got a little added arsenal to her game. She looks like she's trying to rotate around the side of the ball a little bit more. Not known for being a deep inside player, likes to go straight and direct. And you can see there's a little bit different rotation at the point of release for Stephanie Nation.
She gets a spare in the third. We remind you the men's title match coming up a little bit later, and you'll see that in its entirety. Mike
Machuga taking on Anthony LaCaze as we continue our coverage here, the PBA Women's Series presented by Bowl.com. Title match here at the Earl Anthony Memorial Classic. Barnes down 19. And that's one of those shots you're talking about, Randy, right? Everything was fine. You just didn't get them all to drop. Relax.
Yeah, that's okay. A little deeper inside line than her first shot on that lane as she defeated Lindsay Baker and Jody Wessner to make the telecast. And I was talking to Lynda while she was practicing earlier today, and I said, well, what happens if you start leaving those weak 10s? She says, you know what? I'm just going to try to tip it a little bit more or try to add a little bit more side roll. Her last outing on television, she said, you know what? I flat out chose the wrong bowling ball. I didn't use the right ball. Even though she got to the pocket a lot, her carry was miserable. She says, if I see that again today, I'm just going to start tipping it a little bit more.
Her husband, Chris, felt guilty, saying he felt like he talked me into the wrong ball there at the Viper Championship, the World Series of Bowling. Coming up after this one, our men's title match, Machuga, LaCaze.
All right.
The messenger didn't take its one a day.
Well, that was a leaner. You know, she was looking for the little tomahawk 10 there. Didn't happen. Both balls in the last two shots in the pocket. See how it goes to the channel there. It kind of leans on it, just not hard enough. But again, that's another weak 10. Look for Lynda to start making some adjustments with the hand position to try to tilt that ball a little bit more and get it to hook a little harder down the lane.
Well, we'll tell you why it's nice to have Chris Barnes in your corner, but Randy, it's even sweeter to ignore his advice when ESPN's live coverage of the Earl Anthony Memorial Classic returns.
I never, as a woman, thought I'd get a heart attack. It's just out of the blue at 43. Now I'm on an aspirin regimen because it helps me live the life I want to live.
Be sure to talk to your doctor before you begin an aspirin regimen.
It's not a big deal to go to your doctor. It is a big deal to have a heart attack.
Everything's bigger and better in an RV. Even birthday balloons. What will you discover? Go RVing. Visit GoRVing.com for a free video and see an RV dealer.
PBA legend Parker Bone III knows hardwood floors. That's why he installed Bellawood pre-finished solid hardwood floors in his own home. Available in a variety of species, there's no sanding, no smelly fumes, and it's durable. Just how durable is Bellawood?
Parker, don't even think about it.
Well, it does have a 50-year finish warranty. Bellawood, on sale now at Lumber Liquidators. Call 1-800-FLOORING for a store near you.
The road is tough, your spirit's strong, driving one and on. Close shave America, close shave Barbasol. America, you're looking good, handsome, free and tall. Close shave America, close shave Barbasol, close shave Barbasol.
To stay on top of my game after 50, I switched to a complete multivitamin with more. Only one a day men's 50+ advantage has ginkgo for memory and concentration, plus support for heart health. That's a great call.
One a day men's.
Australian Open coverage begins tonight at 7 p.m. on ESPN2. Presented by Franklin Templeton Investments.
Lynda Barnes down 18 in the title match of the Earl Anthony Memorial Classic. There she is. Fifth, still seeking a strike. While we were gone, Stephanie Nation in the fourth with an 8 spare and then a 9 spare. And here is Barnes trying to clean up, take care of the 3-pin here in the fifth. This is the final singles event in the 09-10 PBA Women's Series presented by Bowl.com. The winner will advance to the Women's Series Showdown coming your way in mid-April from the USBC training facility in Arlington, Texas. It'll be an easy road trip for both Nation and Barnes. Nation works there at that facility. Barnes also from Texas.
Do something.
How about a Brooklyn? Didn't like it? Yeah, I tell you what, everybody just start throwing Brooklyns today. That's where you got your best shot at winning. That's Rob's advice.
Nobody likes to win with a Brooklyn.
I'll take it. Are you kidding me?
Well, that's, you know, after leaving back-to-back flat 10s, she tries to make an adjustment, get a little bit more hand in it, and unfortunately crosses over, but, good, you know, good break catching the Brooklyn. She needs a couple of those to get back into this match, trailing by 19.
Well, Nation spares in the 3rd, 4th, and 5th. She's clean, but hasn't struck since she opened up with the pair. Here is a big opening for Lynda Barnes.
Yep. Like we talked about, one mistake could spell disaster, and there it is. 3, 6, 7. She's going to try to get the ball to the right side of the 3-pin, slide it over into the 7. The ball will take out the 6. See, just like I said, just look at the spare maker there.
Not too far off target, but open frame now for Nation. Randy, do you have the keys or do I have the keys?
You have the keys, boss.
All right, let me fire up the Go RV and On the Road. Next week, we take our act to Red Rock Lanes in Las Vegas. The TOC live coverage on ESPN at 1 Eastern. The following week, we're over on ESPN2 from the Fountain Bowl in Fountain Valley, California, just south of LAX, right in between LA and Orange County, for the one-a-day Dick Weber Open.
And I was on the roster for the TSC until about 6 weeks ago when I had my knee cut on.
Nation skims the head pin, and I'm confused because I thought in the rule book that there was the line that by the broadcasting reciprocal property, I was able to fill in for you.
That's a new rule, too.
Yeah.
I've never heard that rule.
I like to make things up in the bowling.
Apparently.
I don't know if you've heard that.
Apparently. But, you know, the Red Rock is such a great facility, and I love the Tournament of Champions. Made, you know, a couple of shows there and at the TSC, and I just love the venue. I love the event, and it was, you know, I tried to rehab and get back into shape, but my knee just won't let me be a part of it this year. Maybe next year.
Good pickup there by Nation in the 7th. Maybe leads by 5, and opportunity now, though, for Lynda Barnes to take the lead. All the NFL's top stars are on one stage the Sunday before the Super Bowl this year, Randy.
Interesting, and it's not in Honolulu.
McDonald's presents the 2010 Pro Bowl on ESPN Sunday, January 31st. Coverage begins with Sunday NFL Countdown at 5:30 Eastern. I can hear that music all day.
How about another Brooklyn?
I told you, come on, Wobble.
Wow. Looking for another Brook for a double. We've got a 5-pin match. Lynda is having trouble getting the ball to the pocket now.
Barnes cleans that one up, and saw earlier one of the patches on Lynda's jersey, JDRF, Juvenile Diabetes Research Foundation. And once her and Chris discovered that one of their sons, Troy, was suffering juvenile diabetes, those two quickly jumped on board.
The Juvenile Diabetes Research Foundation is something we've been involved in the last year. Troy, our son, was diagnosed about 1.5 years ago, and we've been trying to help out raising funds. We have a website, strikeoutdiabetes.org. You can donate there, and we're doing our best to try and find a cure so that no child has to suffer through 5 to 7 pinpricks a day and living based off of their insulin intake. So we're doing all we can to try and help that organization raise money.
Finally, some energy in this crowd here. The Strikeout Diabetes fundraiser by the Barnes has raised over $12,000 so far. More events planned in the near future. Here is Nation, bottom of the 8th, up 5, working on a spare.
Give it to me, give it to me. Yeah!
Business picking up now.
And just at the right time, 8th, 9th, and 10th frame, who's going to make the shot? Who's going to get the ball to the 1-3 pocket? Who's going to carry all 10? Both players working on strikes, 8th frame, 5-pin match.
Nation now on the left lane. One of her 3 strikes coming there. She will close out on the right. Way right of target.
Way to hit your ankle there, buddy.
You know, it's reminiscent of the last time we saw her. Remember the last Earl Anthony Medford Classic? She was the runner-up to Wendy McPherson. Wendy McPherson, string of strikes late. Stephanie Nation gets up in the 10th frame, needs a hit, and goes wide right again, leaves a washout. This time, another washout. 1-2-7-8. And what a bad time to have this happen to you.
Already had an open frame in the 6th. Flirting with one here in the 9th.
Come on, give me 4.
Gets it!
Wow, that's a lucky break, too, because that was wide again. I promise you she wasn't trying to shoot that spare that way. You want to try to get the ball over into the 1-2. In any event, it's still a spare. Watch this. That's right of the head pin. Nice break. Still has a 5-pin lead. Lynda Barnes, on the other hand, working on a strike. Can she double up and get a hit on this right lane?
No strikes on this right lane for Barnes so far. Until now.
Boy, Robin, it really looks like the last 2 shots, she started to get more aggressive. She said, you know what? Let me bring a little, and she did. I'll tell you what, the one thing that you can do when the lanes get hard is you can just pick up the speed and go more direct. And that looks exactly like what Lynda Barnes has done. She now takes the lead and can shut out Stephanie Nation here in the 10th frame.
She grew up about 30 minutes from here in Concord, California. Went to San Jose State for 4 years, just down the road. A lot of family and friends here cheering her on. And just when she had the chance to close it out, she goes through the nose.
Watch her hand get around the side here early. Causes the ball to go right through the face. Pays the price.
Do something cool.
It closes with an open frame in the 10th. He will sit and watch, but this one is Nation's for the taking.
Stephanie Nation needs a mark in the 10th frame.
Be a nice birthday present, belated birthday present for Nation. A mark to win. Barnes watches.
Hang on, hang on. Yeah!
And that's all she wrote. Nation bowled for so many years with Barnes on Team USA, telling us yesterday how much she looks up to Lynda and still gets butterflies when she's around her and bowling against her.
Boy, and this is redemption. She goes with the high hard one, right to the 1-3 pocket, all 10 in the pit. When you need a mark in the 10th frame, that's the best kind.
Strike number 5 now.
I'm on, Dad, Graham. I love you guys. I wish you were here.
She won the Pepsi Viper Championship in Omaha last season, taking down Michelle Feldman 225, 200, and about 3 in a row to close out. There's your high score of the day, oh, by the way.
Oh my God.
A 201.
You guys are amazing. Hey, everybody at home, love you guys.
One piece of hardware has been handed out. We'll get you properly prepped for the uninterrupted men's final when we return to the PBA on ESPN.
Here's a special free offer for men who are losing their hair.
My hair always looks great, and I feel great.
If you want to look better, if you want to feel better about yourself, Hair Club is the way to go.
Men, you know that getting your hair back will make you look good and improve your self-confidence like no diet or exercise program. It's a proven fact that having a thicker, fuller head of hair makes you look and feel younger, healthier, and sexier. You can get your hair back just by calling Hair Club. Call now.
I'm 52, and I look better now than I did when I was in my 40s. Becoming a member of Hair Club for Men is the best investment in my career I've ever made.
Hair Club offers all proven hair loss solutions, including surgical and non-surgical options. Available through our network of physicians. With more than 500,000 success stories over the last 30 years, Hair Club can also help you get your hair back. Invest in yourself. Call now.
What separates us from all the other hair loss companies is that only Hair Club provides all the proven technologies and solutions for hair loss that are available.
The reason why I went to Hair Club was because of the great quality of work, the experience of the doctors and the medical staff, and the great patient care. They really took care of me. And the results are fantastic.
When you call right now to book your free no-obligation consultation, we'll also give you a microscopic hair and scalp analysis, a $250 value absolutely free. We'll measure the extent of your hair loss, explain what causes hair loss, and our hair loss experts will show you all the tested, proven solutions we offer.
I'm very happy that I have a full head of hair. I feel healthy and great, and it's the best decision I've ever made.
Hair Club is the only company that can offer you a customized solution based on your unique type of hair loss. Get the look you want that women love. If you want to look younger, feel better, and get a full head of hair again, call Hair Club today.
I wish I would have done this 20 years ago. It's so worth it.
Call them. Just call Hair Club. Hair Club has worked wonders for me.
Why wait? Call now for your free information kit and find out how you can get your hair back. The call is free. The information is free. The consultation is free. Why wait? Call now.
Hey, whose is this?
That's mine. The Magic gave it to me when I joined the team.
Look at that. Tiny hat. This is fun. Hey, it is my birthday. What is this? How'd that get in there?
Jazz Nuggets, tonight at 9 Eastern on ESPN.
I was 13 years old, and I was sitting behind the counter at my mom and my dad's bowling center, and I was kind of eating some French fries and a burger, and I was watching Earl Anthony bowl on television, and I looked up to my mom, and I said, Mom, I'm going to be a pro bowler when I grow up. I'm going to bowl that guy. I'm going to beat that guy.
And here at the Buckeye Lanes, little Norm Duke on the left, at only 5'6", 122 pounds, going against a man who has won more tournaments, more money in professional bowling, the long history of this great game, Earl Anthony, who will be shooting first.
I'm 18 now. First time ever on television. My very first game on television against Earl Anthony. My mom's in the crowd. She's on the front row. I'll never forget. ABC Sports. It was great. Loved it. And I won. You know, he's not with us anymore, but he's with me. He's with my family. Everyone in my family knows what he means to me.
A wonderful memory courtesy of Norm Duke as we continue to honor the all-time great Earl Anthony here at Earl Anthony's Dublin Bowl as our continuing coverage of the Earl Anthony Memorial Classic rolls on. Coming up next, the men's final, uninterrupted. But first, the Geico Championship recap. Randall?
Well, Rob, I can pretty much sum up the entire Geico with one simple message: miss spares. Okay. Sean Rash did it a couple of times against Mike Machuga. Mike Machuga ends up beating him 188 to 183. You add up to 2 missed spares, 22 pins. The next match was pretty much the same thing, except
for Mike Wolfe with the solid 8 in the 7th. He did whip that, split in the 10th. Anthony LaCaze only one open frame. Kind of a battle of attrition, so to speak, the entire day.
So LaCaze getting set to take on Machuga in our men's final. Who has the advantage? Clearly experience is in favor of Machuga, but you like the way everything's kind of shaping up for LaCaze today.
Yeah, I think it's a coin toss. I mean, you're right. The experience goes towards Mike Machuga, but there's something about Anthony LaCaze that I really like. And, you know, the one thing I can promise you is in this title match, he will not be afraid.
We've been talking all day about the one-a-day, more of what matters to you fan question, and it is in the books, and it's directed to you, Randall.
Let's have it.
All right. Comes from Stockton, California, Dave Bowles, and PBA has a long history here at Earl Anthony's Dublin Bowl. What was your best finish here, my friend?
You know, it was so long ago. I think my best finish here was 8th or 9th. But I always loved bowling in this tournament. I loved it because, one, it was close to home. I was living in Central California at the time. Two, the hotel's right next door.
It's a nice perk.
Great fans. It was a great venue, and of course it had Earl Anthony's name on it.
See Bill O'Neill in the jeans and the black shirt next to his longtime buddy Anthony LaCaze, providing some advice as LaCaze T-Money gets set for his first ever title match on TV. On the backside, we go commercial free with the men's final. Machuga versus LaCaze.
To stay on top of my game after 50, I switched to a complete multivitamin with more. Only one a day men's 50+ advantage has ginkgo for memory and concentration, plus support for heart health. That's a great call.
One a day men's.
Why do hardwood floors cost less at Lumber Liquidators? At most flooring stores, your floor makes a few stops before you get your order. Lumber Liquidators cuts out the middleman. Come on in. You'll find the quality hasn't been cut, just the prices. Like Bellawood, the premium pre-finished hardwood flooring from $2.99. Supreme bamboo flooring as low as $1.99 a square foot. Hurry in, these deals won't last. Visit lumberliquidators.com or call 1-800-HARDWOOD for a store near you.
I'd like the sirloin, chicken and pork too, all wrapped in bacon, and all for around $10.
Security!
You can't match Golden Corral's Applewood Grill. It's sirloin, chicken breast, and our new scallops, all with Applewood bacon, all for around $10. Only at Golden Corral.
With all the success that Adrian was having, it was just getting tough to juggle his schedule, so we got him an assistant.
If I can get you to sign that, that'd be great. And oh, by the way, for Mom's birthday, perfect.
We had to get someone who could anticipate his every need.
Yeah. Knock, knock. Which one? Like me. Done. Oh, your 3 p.m. is waiting.
When you hit that next level, man, there aren't enough hours in the day.
He'll be with you when he's with you.
These are the building blocks of a perfect girls' weekend. It all starts with having more hotels to choose from. That's why I book with Expedia, so I can find someplace familiar or somewhere more distinctive. Nice. Then I can compare dates to find out when I can save the most cash. Done and done. We should do this more often. More choices, more savings. Where you book matters. Expedia.com.
It's National Football Month, and as a proud sponsor of the NFL, Papa John's wants you to watch the season's best games with a better pizza.
Papa's in the house.
Y'all watching the game? Good. Come on over. Right now, taste John's favorite pizza, a large 6-cheese with delicious sausage and pepperoni, only $9.99, and only at Papa John's.
Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's.
Wow, it's going to be a pretty good plan. There, boy. All right, we're home.
Glad you're back with us as we get set for our men's title match of the Earl Anthony Memorial Classic. You'll see it in its entirety, commercial free. And on your left, Susie Anthony, the wife of the late Earl Anthony, and on the right, Mike Anthony, Earl Anthony's son. We had a great chat with Susie yesterday.
We really did. You got into it with her about her shoes.
She brought it up. She's got some great shoes that have hammer on it. Got the 4 strikes, and she brought it up, not me. I'm sure Earl is doing some rolling around right now that we're even discussing that with his wife, but she was awesome. We asked her about who she follows. She says, I still got a soft spot for all the lefties, but she told me this today. She's like, hey, you remember you asked me who I'm watching? She said, I was watching Richie Allen this week, and I really liked the way he bowls. I got to say, Richie Allen and Susie Anthony are two people you wouldn't expect to see in the same building.
Yeah, odd couple.
Oh, man. She's great. I really liked my time hanging out with her. We begin our men's title match. Mike Machuga on the left lane. Through the nose, gets a late kick. Look like a hint of loft there.
Yeah, now, and that's what the players did this week. Once they got as far left as they could get, the only way to keep the ball right at the head pin was to give it some airtime. An interesting fact, the last winner of the 1992 Earl Anthony Championship.
Last time it was bowled here in this establishment.
I'm sorry, that's what I meant. Last time it was here in 1992. The winner, Mike Shady, who just happens to be Mike Machuga's brother-in-law.
Anthony LaCaze up now, the last to win a title after advancing from the TQR round. Rhino Page, March of '08 in Norwich, Connecticut, one of my favorite venues on the tour. LaCaze gets them all to drop. We asked him what he learned when he was on TV last year in Hammond, and he said, valuable lesson, one shot at a time. And I said, don't be cliche with me, but it's true. Got to slow things down because this goes fast when you're on TV. So you take a look at the bare breakdown of our men's title match and experience, obviously, in the corner of Mike Machuga.
A lot on the line for Anthony LaCaze. Berth in the Tournament of Champions next week for him if he were to win. A full-time exemption next season. I think an interesting note, when we first saw him last season, because of you and I, he picked up a new sponsor. Just happens to be Steve Jarris's PBA champion, Steve Jarris's old sponsor, Tom Sims. Gave him a call and said, hey, Anthony, you need a sponsor? I'm your guy.
LaCaze picks up that single pin spare. He also signed his first contract this week with Vice. No incentives, though, because he didn't sign before this tournament started. So, to our friends at Vice, if he wins, do the right thing.
Well,
give this guy the bonus check that he deserves.
The good folks at Vice, I'm sure they'll take care of him.
Once again, Vice, do the right thing. Take care of Anthony LaCaze. Don't let me get the boys at the patio, T-Max boys, in your grill, Vice. You don't want that. So LaCaze sits down, strikes spare. Machuga to begin the second.
Standing in front of the ball return.
Catch. Boom! Gets them all.
The other issue that you have to talk about in this title match is how much his wrist is going to affect him.
He's also bowling with some emotion. His grandfather, Bernie Heverly, just told him this week that he only has 1 to 2 months to live due to cancer. Mike says he is my biggest fan.
He's pretty much the reason I got involved in bowling. It was his bowling center that I grew up in. And my grandmother is the one who convinced my father, my brother-in-law, and my grandfather to invest the money in me to get on tour. And since then, Grumpy's been my biggest fan. He tunes in every squad, every week, always watching, and he's a special, special guy. It'll mean a lot to me. I'm sure it'll mean a lot to him.
Things are starting to heat up here in the championship match, Rob. Got some strikes going. I feel a little life. I feel energized.
Big tone with a strike there in the third. Just going back to Bernie Heverly, Machuga's grandfather. He owned Frontier Lanes in Erie, Pennsylvania, which is essentially where Machuga grew up, in that center. LaCaze working on a strike to begin the fourth. 2-4-5 he leaves.
Boy, that shot right there Just shows you how tough, how demanding, how unforgiving the oil pattern is. That wasn't that far to the right, but enough to leave the 2-4-5. And we're talking inches. Anytime you see players of this caliber struggle to shoot 200, you know the lane conditions are brutal.
Good pickup. Just one strike on that left lane across the day from LaCaze. And he will have to finish on that left lane.
Take another one.
Third top 20 finish and second top 5 in as many weeks for Machuga, right by the ball return.
Now he has to adjust the length of his steps and then time it up, get the ball in the swing at the right time, watch the little steps to start.
Should have pushed the button.
Well, he wanted a re-rack and then decided against it. A pretty good shot there to leave the 10-pin. I was listening to Mike Machuga in warm-ups prior to going on for this title match, and he said, I got the left lane. The right lane is all about just making really good shots.
Single pin spares have been vital today. Machuga picks that one up.
Again, a big timing change as we take a look at Ted Hoffman.
Co-proprietor here at Earl Anthony's Dublin Bowl.
I've known Ted. I've known Teddy for a long, long time. PBA Hall of Famer, just a great guy. He knows how to run a tournament. That's why you had the fans you had this week. That's why their programs were a sellout, and that's why the players love coming to Earl Anthony's Dublin Bowl.
Machuga in the 5th on the left lane. Backs off. Somebody in the crowd, I think, caught his attention.
Just a little too much movement.
Hey, at least it wasn't me or you.
Yeah.
Full house here at Dublin, California. Mike Machuga.
Native of Erie, PA. With the lead. Big loft. Looks like that loft is increasing.
Good shots, Michael. Good shots.
We're not talking Robert Smith-esque loft.
Not yet. Watch the airtime here. Now, here's the thing. If you don't loft it, that ball's in the left gutter when he lays it down. So you got to get some air under it.
Lead at 8. LaCaze steps up in the 5th. Best finish this season till this week was 24th at the season opening Motor City Open. Here he is in the 5th, LaCaze. That one a shade shy of Brooklyn.
Anthony LaCaze not near as deep on the lane as Mike Machuga, and you can see what happens when he misses in. That ball has no chance of holding long.
This is a guy who's bowling qualifiers every week. He cashed in every event but one this season. He's on the road and rooming now with Bill O'Neill, and you can just kind of see the knowledge and the confidence in this young man every week kind of growing and adding to it. And here he is in his first ever title match, down 9 to Mike Machuga as we begin the 6th. Here's a guy who told us yesterday he still doesn't know his specs.
Yeah, I can't remember how to fill out his spec sheets. He doesn't know the numbers for his span and pitches. Just give him time.
Leaves the 10-pin. He flew into San Francisco, and the plan was to meet Bill O'Neill at the rental car place. O'Neill had booked the rental car, but under LaCaze's name. The guy says, hey, you got a credit card? He's like, no, I got a debit card. He's like, well, Do you have a return itinerary? No, I don't. They wouldn't give it to him because he didn't have a credit card. So he had to sit around and wait for Bill O'Neill. So the goal this week, get a credit card. And get some credit on that credit card. And a $25,000 winning check will help that cause.
Let's check out the move that Mike Machuga has made. Now, here's where he was playing his first match. Right around the 8th board, although that was a whiff right. Check out the big move here. Lofting it, playing around the 32nd board.
Huge move.
Yeah.
Right next to the ball return, right in front of it. Plants almost in the gutter. Leaves the 10.
Awfully tough to strike. And that was over the lane with that rack.
Come on, knock it over.
Mike Machuga has to finish on the right lane. Last 2 shots on the right lane, 10-pin, 10-pin. But he's managing this game nicely. A 4-pin, a double, a 10-pin, a 9-pin, and another 10-pin. And he's clean through 6.
Randy, I don't know if you're aware of this, but there's still time for you and others to sign up for the PBA's Fantasy Bowling League. You can play against all other PBA fans, or Randy, you can form your own private group. First points in the league will be awarded for the PBA Tournament of Champions next week. So head on over to PBA.com and sign up today before you check out of your hotel room.
Okay.
Maybe you and I could form a league.
Let's do it. Knuckles.
Begin the 7th. Uh-oh, said Machuga. Uh-oh, say 10 pins.
Yeah, that's become a common theme out here every week when we hear, uh-oh, it's usually 10 in the pit.
I had that much hold.
You hear what he just said? He said, wow, I didn't know that lane had that much hold. That's a good sign for a right-hander playing that deep. He knows he's got a little bit of tug on that left lane. It's too bad he's not finishing the match on that left lane.
So Machuga sits with a 9-pin lead. Big stretch of frames here for LaCaze. He's on the right lane, the only lane he has struck on here in the title match.
Well, he didn't like that one as soon as he let go of it. And he knew that was headed for the Brooklyn.
But Brooklyn has not been a bad place to visit today.
Well, you know, Mike Machuga's sitting there watching that ball go Brooklyn, and the last thing Mike wants to see is a Brooklyn strike against him. And as a player, the last thing you want to do is throw a Brooklyn strike against your opponent. And, you know, part of the missed spares that we saw in the earlier matches is a lack of concentration due to trying to process all of the information and figure out a way to get your ball to hit the pocket.
You hear it all the time in various sports where the coaches say, if you're thinking, you're not playing.
Yeah.
Just go out and play.
Right.
Do what you're comfortable doing. If your head is racing around, you're not going to make the play. You're not going to make the right adjustment. Fine line. You got to dance here on the PBA Tour. Begin the 8th. LaCaze down 10. Needs a strike here on a very difficult left lane for him. Gets some late wood to fall, which will help his cause.
Almost left a 4-5 split. And when if you're Mike Machuga, you really like what you're seeing right now because Anthony LaCaze is not nearly as deep as Mike Machuga is. And Mike's sitting there saying, all right, well, he's not as far left as I am, so he's not going to be burning up my hold area. I might have another good look. One last shot on that left lane. Mike Machuga just looking to set it up with a strike in the 8th.
5th consecutive spare for LaCaze. He takes a seat. Machuga pops up. 3 strikes for Machuga here in the title match. Only one of them coming on the right lane.
Remember, he said prior to the start of this championship match, I just have to make great shots on the right lane. The left lane, I've got some room.
Had some real issues at Thunderbolt, the World Series of Bowling, but has figured it out the last couple weeks.
Uh-oh. Help, 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 help. No split. No split. Okay.
Huge.
Leaves the 2.
And a couple of nice breaks for both players going light. Here's the loft. Maybe a little excessive. The ball just pushes too far down the lane, but a nice break and only leaving the 2-pin. Now cover the spare, strike in the 9th, and set up your 10th frame. Managing very nicely right now.
Keep filling frames.
And that's what today has required. Managing your game. If you get in the 200s, pat yourself on the back. Only one person has gotten in the 200s today, and that's Stephanie Nation at 201. And she won the women's title.
Remember, Mike Machuga in his soundbite, he said, you know, I've got a lot of tools, but I'm not sure how to manage the toolbox.
He said that to us yesterday in our meetings, and you know, he's got a lot of friends, Norm Dukes, in the world who have a lot of advice, and he gets to learn from them. Now he just needs to put the pliers in the right place, use the wrench over here. He's using the loft right now. Oh, that's a big drop. That is a huge drop. Yeah, Machuga looks upstairs for some divine intervention as the 10 dropped late. That could have been a mammoth difference maker.
Well, this may be the biggest break of the tournament for Mike Machuga. Staring at the 4-10. The 10 goes late. A spare here. He will remain clean through 9 frames.
His 6th single-pin spare conversion of this title match.
Now, here's the deal. What adjustments will Anthony LaCaze make in the 9th and 10th frame? He has not been close to the pocket the last 2 shots.
The good news for him is only 2 strikes in this title match have come on this right lane. Let's see what Team Money has right now.
If he strikes out in 9th and 10th frame, he'll shoot 216. Mike Machuga can strike out in the 10th frame to shoot 216.
Ooh. 1 down for Team Money.
Hey there, Mr. Big Shot. No matter what he does, though, Mike Machuga knows he can't be shut out. Big shot here. Re-rack sets up the 10th frame. That's just 10 back.
LaCaze asked for a re-rack as he buys some time as he gets set to roll on the left lane. Just 1 strike on the left lane today for LaCaze.
He wants everything to be perfect for this 10th frame.
Leah, his wife, watching in the background.
Back-to-back jacks for Team Money. Man, how good was that shot? Watch this guy matriculate the ball down the lane now when he needs it most. He has to come up with a big double to tie the match up, and he does just that. Talked about what kind of an adjustment he would make in the 9th and 10th frame. You're looking at it.
He's playing with some emotion now, too. We haven't seen much positive emotion out here today.
But he's not overly geeked out. Okay, it's just enough.
Good use of the term geeked out, Randy, by the way.
Thank you.
Second effort in the 10th for LaCaze, working on a double. Make it a triple. 3-bagger, lead change, a strike here, and he could do no worse than force a roll-off.
Rob, it's one thing to have the physical talent to be able to bowl out here on tour. It's another to have the mental fortitude, the Maple Moxie to win. This kid's got it. We talked about it in the open. We talked about it in the on-camera. This guy's got the Maple Moxie. He steps up and throws 3 of the prettiest shots you've ever seen on one of the most demanding lane conditions we've been a part of.
But puts the pressure on Machuga with the 2:14. There's his father in attendance. Marty watching.
Mike Machuga needs 2 strikes and 9 to win for the 3rd time in his career. Anything less, Anthony LaCaze is going to be your brand new champion on the Lumber Liquidators PBA Tour.
And he will be at the Tournament of Champions next week. Just 1 strike on the right lane all day for Mike Machuga. Needs 2 and then 9 for the title. LaCaze watches from the sideline. Yes, a late kick and a drop of the 4-pin, and Machuga still alive.
Well, I'll tell you what, Rob, as soon as he let go of this, I started shaking my head because I thought it was inside of target. It was just a fraction.
Every time.
And there's a right-hander's best friend when you need a hit. Trip 4. 1 more of those. And 9. It's Mike Machuga's victory.
The breaks have gone Machuga's way. This is not saying he didn't earn it, he didn't deserve it, but he has had the pins fall when he needs them to. LaCaze watches. Machuga.
It's just a game.
Mandatory strike here for him in the 10th.
And he's off to the TOC. Earl Anthony Memorial Classic.
The patio is rocking as T-Money moves on. I don't think it's hit him yet, Randy. Well, he's holding it in and bottling it up.
Happy birthday, Mario. Happy birthday, brother. Wolfpack.
Great moment in that young man's career. Anthony LaCaze wins his first Lumber Liquidators PBA Tour title, and with it, an invite to next week's second major of the season. The TOC will be back to wrap it up. After this, Machuga falls in the 10th. LaCaze, your titleist.
To stay on top of my game after 50, I switched to a complete multivitamin with more. Only 1 a day men's 50+ advantage has ginkgo for memory and concentration, plus support for heart health. That's a great call.
1 a day men's.
I'd like the sirloin, chicken and pork too, all wrapped in bacon, and all for around $10.
Security!
You can't match Golden Corral's Applewood Grill. It's sirloin, chicken breast, and our new scallops, all with Applewood bacon, all for around $10. Only at Golden Corral.
Could switching to Geico really save you 15% or more on car insurance? Is Ed Too Tall Jones too tall?
I'm just gonna guesstimate.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more.
Take your time to find the right time with Cialis for daily use. A clinically proven low-dose tablet for erectile dysfunction you take every day. So you can be ready anytime the moment is right.
Tell your doctor about your medical condition and all medications, and ask if you're healthy enough for sexual activity. Don't take Cialis if you take nitrates for chest pain, as this may cause an unsafe drop in blood pressure. Don't drink alcohol in excess with Cialis. Side effects may include headache, upset stomach, delayed backache, or muscle ache. To avoid long-term injury, seek immediate medical help for an erection lasting more than 4 hours. If you have any sudden decrease or loss in hearing or vision, stop taking Cialis and call your doctor right away.
36-hour Cialis or Cialis for daily use. Ask your doctor about Cialis today, so when the moment is right, you can be ready.
I'd like the sirloin, chicken and pork too, all wrapped in bacon, and all for around $10.
Security!
You can't match Golden Corral's Applewood Grill. It's sirloin, chicken breast, and our new scallops, all with Applewood bacon, all for around $10. Only at Golden Corral.
So I was the guy who was never going to have the heart attack. I thought I was invincible. I'm on an aspirin regimen now because I never want to feel that helplessness again.
Be sure to talk to your doctor before you begin an aspirin regimen.
Talk to your doctor and take care of what you have to take care of.
We want you at ESPN The Weekend. Don't miss your chance to win one of 4 grand prize trips for you and 3 guests, February 25th through the 28th at Walt Disney World in Florida. Enter at ESPN.com and search Dick's Sporting Goods. It's ESPN The Weekend, presented by Dick's Sporting Goods.
The PBA Earl Anthony Memorial Classic is brought to you by Lumber Liquidators, hardwood flooring for less. By Atonic. Visit www.atonic.com/bull. By Go RV. Visit GoRVing.com for a free video. Go affordably. Go RV. And by One A Day Men's 50+ Advantage, the multivitamin with more of what matters.
Glad you're back with us live from Earl Anthony's Dublin Bowl. And the Earl Anthony Memorial Classic goes to the young man who now has an exemption and a berth in next week's TOC, Anthony LaCaze, courtesy of a 214-206 victory over Mike Machuga. And your winner, standing guy, ringside with Randy Peterson.
Thanks, Rob. Anthony, boy, you sure made that look easy.
It was not easy. It wasn't easy. Trying to get it off my hand.
What was going through your mind when you were sitting back there watching Mike Machuga? He steps up. You know exactly what he needs. He leaves the ring in 10, and your whole life just changed. What went through your mind?
Well, I wanted him to throw the ball the best he can, and I was wishing him luck the whole time.
How's your feeling, or what's your feeling on going to the Tournament of Champions next week?
Awesome. I can't wait to get there. Vegas, here I come.
All right, buddy, I'll see you there. Congratulations, Anthony.
Thank you.
LaCaze told us yesterday he'll see us in Vegas at the TOC. And the man backs up his words with the 214-206 title victory over Mike Machuga. Next week, we are in Vegas. Live coverage, 1 Eastern, right here on ESPN, of the second major of the year, the PBA Tournament of Champions. LaCaze with a 3-bagger in the 9th and 10th, which helped propel him over Mike Machuga and earn him his first ever Lumber Liquidators PBA Tour title. For Randy Peterson and our entire crew, I'm Rob Stone. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. Enjoy the rest of your week.